Hi again, everyone. Gosh, it's wild. It was 3 months ago, or already we were talking about this, but appreciate all the insightful responses you had both during the time we were together and then what you submitted about what you currently have in your schools in work-based learning and what you would love to have in your schools in terms of work-based learning. But just putting this here again, thinking about that continuum piece. I heard mention, I think was it Jessica or mention of like an internship coming up this summer, right? And like what a fabulous opportunity that is. I don't want to say Jessica. I was like, Ashley, where did I get Jessica in my mind? It's Friday. The brain is like clearly fading here, but your internships, which is that career development experience piece in the continuum, are these really robust experiences. And would be curious too, then Ashley, wondering like where other things you've done that have led up to that internship, right? But this whole idea of a continuum, starting from that space of taking some surveys or watching videos, but then really directly engaging with people in the industry, doing more intensive experiences like working on projects or going on a job shadow to lead you up to those internships, right? So if in your schools you were interested in a career and you got to do different components along the continuum, I hope that was really helpful for you as you're further thinking about what you'll do after high school. And if you haven't had those experiences, right, where could you start to see for yourself where you land on this continuum currently in an area that you're interested in? And where can you start to find some more experiences to unpack that for yourself?
Great, thanks, Heather. And like Heather said, we asked you for experiences that you've had in work-based learning in your schools. And Caroline, I know some folks had agreed to talk about this, if you want to call them out.
Joanna.
Hi. So one of the opportunities I was able to do last summer was have an internship at Rosalind Franklin University. And I was able to do an internship on what it would be like to actually study the pre-med track in college. And well, we were supposed to do research, but because of the pandemic, we weren't able to. So instead, we were giving a lot of work and we were learning a lot about the body systems. And a lot of the schoolwork that we were given was really, or resembled a lot how the work that we would be given if we were to pursue a pre-med track in college. So I think it really helped me see how rigorous the courseload was. And it made like, for example, my other friend who took it realized that pre-med wasn't for them, but for me, it made me realize that it really was for me. So yeah, that was one of the things I was able to do last summer.
That's really great, Joanna. Thanks for sharing that. And I think internships can be valuable both to help you identify what your interests are and to help you identify what your interests are not. And both are equally important.
So Olivia shared for career exploration, guest speakers, career planning and consumer education classes. We also heard from Joshua, who did career development experience with partnerships with companies that provide internships and shadow opportunities. We also heard from Jay, team-based challenges, project-led, the way of courses, team-based engineering classes in which peers and he frequently engaged in collaborative STEM projects, career exploration shared by Iris, intro to health, medical terms, anatomy, medical physics classes with Harper and Loyola partnerships. We heard from Isabel E., career development experience, area career center enrollment. Students participated in specific vocation and technology prep programs that allows for on-the-job training. We also heard from Anusha, career development experience, Bloomington Area Career Center, engineering and forensic science courses, and State Farm computer science internships.
All right, so thanks again for sharing those experiences with us. You also shared with us ways that you would like to see work-based learning opportunities improved at your schools, and we have gathered that information and are sharing it with your teachers and administrators that we work with to ensure that your voice is really included as communities, as schools develop these experiences. So Caroline will now lead us in a discussion on networking.
So I believe at least I feel like I've shared a little bit about this before. So networking and making connections. Are any of you guys familiar with an elevator pitch? Can you guys like can you guys like type it in the chat or nod your heads or something? No, yes. Anusha, can you share what an elevator pitch is? I believe you should guess.
I feel like I might be wrong.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my computer is going off. Hold on, let me turn off my ringer. Okay, I think an elevator pitch is just like, it's just like a short little spiel that you'll give someone that you want to like something that will appeal to them, but that's not super long so that they can get a quick idea of what it is that you want them to like sponsor.
Yes, and in this like how we're trying to see it today, no, but yes, you have like the very right idea. So it's basically you pitching for yourself. So it's like your resume, but in like 5 minutes, you know? So for example, like my elevator pitch would be like, hello, my name is Caroline Rivera. I currently attend Wilbur Wright City Colleges of Chicago, where I plan on graduating this next spring and transferring on to a four-year institution. I currently work at Education Systems Center as their junior policy associate. I've worked there since my senior year of high school through an internship program called Urban Alliance, and they've took me on after that and helped me grow in many ways. And then I would just continue going on and on after that. But you guys kind of get the idea.
Okay, I don't really know if this is an elevator pitch, but I won this scholarship in my area, and the person who interviewed me for my scholarship, she is like a district head for UPS, and she really liked my personality, and she said she really like felt a connection with me. So she's who offered me the paid internship this summer. So I guess that's an elevator pitch, kind of. I don't know.
Okay. Did you share a little bit? Obviously, you shared a little bit about yourself and like your education, right? Before.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked a lot about my interest in like my 4 year, like in college, what I wanted to study, and she just thought that she kind of identified with the same career path as me, and that's why she felt like she could guide me, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, that's amazing. You see, you made a connection and you shared your interest, and you connected with somebody who has the same interest as you and sees potential in what you're doing or will be doing later on. So that's a great example. So right here, I have two pieces of advice that I feel like would really work for you guys this summer, because I know some of you guys are doing like other high school programs. I believe Joshua is going to a few universities or colleges this summer. And then we have internships flowing around and stuff like that. So don't be shy to ask questions about their contact information, and just don't be shy to ask questions in general. I feel like other professionals like that because it shows them that you're really engaged and that you actually want to know about either their career or how they got where they are and how that can maybe help you later on. And then as a result of connections or networking, you can it can be useful for individuals in their professional and personal lives. I know that for me, when I built a connection with Heather and Edith, I didn't think that it would come to the way it is right now. They have helped me so much professionally when it comes to college and just outside career questions that I've had. And they've also helped me personally when I've gone through a few bumps on my journey in general. So these can be really amazing connections that can benefit you in more than one way.
And so today we're going to talk a little bit about dual credit courses. We're also going to lean into a statewide survey that was completed. And so I really want you all to engage in a conversation. I want this to be as interactive as possible. I'm going to ask some questions of you all. If you don't know the answer, just okay. It's okay. I was in the last meeting and one of the facilitators said, if you don't know the answers, that's okay. Go with your gut feeling, right? Like, so go with your gut and tell me, you know, the first thing that comes to mind, and we can start from that point. So then the next slide, Edith. So I have just a few questions I wanted to know, just to kind of poll and get understanding of where you all are. And so I don't know if you all are taking dual credit or AP courses. And so I'm interested in like knowing more about the two questions on the screen. So the first question is, how do you define dual credit and or AP courses? And then if you've taken dual credit and or AP courses, please share your experiences. So the difference, if somebody could share the difference between the two, and then if another person that has experience in taking one or the other of the courses, if you could just talk through what that was like for you, I think that'd be great as well. So let's start with the first question. Who can define dual credit or AP courses?
Okay, so I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that dual credit is like a class that you take at your like community college that you can earn college credit for, and you can earn credit for at like school, like to graduate. And then AP credit is you take the class at high school and then you take a test, and if you get a 3 or higher, you get credit for colleges that you're going to.
Isabella, that is spot on, right? You got it, friend. So that is correct. So AP is a course that you take at your high school, right? And you also have to pass and be successful on an exam to earn the college credit, right? And so dual credit can be taught at your local community college. It can be taught online, right? Or it can be taught at your high school as well, meaning a college professor or a current high school teacher gets, I guess, certified, if that's the right word, to teach a dual credit course at your high school. So thank you for explaining that. I really appreciate that. You did a really good job. The second question is, who's taken these courses, right? Is there anybody here who's taken it? If you could give me like a reaction, a thumbs up or a hand raise, that would be amazing. And so if a few of you can unmute yourself and just talk about, you know, the course you took and your experience in that course.
Yeah, I can do that. I hope my video is on. So I'm Harel. During my senior year, I took like 4 AP classes, but I also had the opportunity to take a class actually at Northwestern, which is like next to my high school. And that was a really cool experience, like taking a college course like inside the college, because you kind of get a feel of what like a college curriculum is like. And as for the AP classes, like the most important part of the AP class is like the exam. And I feel like the teachers work really hard to try to prepare you for the exam. And I think the exams went, at least for my school, went like really well. So I'm glad I took them. They're very interesting classes, I believe.
Okay, Karel, I see you, friend, doing big things over there in your senior year. Love that. Anybody else want to share their experience?
So I've taken both dual credit and AP at my school, and I'm a junior, so I've taken 6 so far, counting this year. And for AP, what I will say is that unfortunately, not every college takes the credit that you'll earn on the exam. And so the good thing about dual credit is that you already got them through a college, and it's just a matter of transferring them, which is what I really like about them. But the disadvantage is that at most schools, dual credit is weighted at the same as a regular class. So if you took that, it would drag your GPA down, whereas an AP class would raise it. And so a lot of students are discouraged from taking the dual credit classes because although it does increase their portfolio for their college applications, it does not improve their GPA. So they can't be competitive in terms of their like class rank.
Absolutely love that critique and how you were able to break down some of the pros and cons or advantages and disadvantages of each particular course between AP and dual credit. So those of you who have not engaged in dual credit yet, I think that is good insight for you all to consider when thinking about the differences between dual credit and AP courses. So thank you for sharing that. I also see in the chat, there was a comment about human geo, world history, US history, and seminar. For AP courses, you're right, that test is definitely stressed, right? Because the teacher wants all the students to earn that credit. So fortunately, if you don't pass that test, then you don't earn the college credit. And that's a huge difference between the two. But I'm happy you're able to enjoy the academic rigor or the topics that were explained at a higher level. So thank you for sharing that. Are there any other students on this line that like to share their experience in dual credit and or AP courses before we move forward?
So me and Jay are both in the gifted program at Auburn, and a lot of our classes, you have to take an AP class. So you don't necessarily get to choose like which AP class you want to take, which I think is like good and bad, because you'll be forced to take like an AP class that like you don't necessarily have an interest in, which can kind of like not motivate you to want to do well in the class or do well on the exam. But I think some of the classes that I did take, the AP classes that I did take, I really did enjoy some of them, and I was excited to learn about them and stuff like that. So for our school, it's a little bit like different, but I really enjoyed all of the classes that I took.
I hear that often, right? When engaging with students, that they really enjoy learning the content in a different way in dual credit or AP courses, because the content is more thorough, right? And more defined, right? So the curriculum is usually offered at a more deepened level than what it is in high school. And so students often enjoy that. So all the things that you have said is extremely validating. So one thing I just want to show you is some work that's happening within the state of Illinois. Next slide, Edith. And so you may look at this pyramid and you're like, what the heck is this? And so normally when you see a pyramid, the bottom part of it is a little bit bigger. And as you go to the top, it kind of narrows in, right? And so the bottom block there is usually the foundational level to this. So Edith, if you could just click through all three, that would be great. Okay, so when we talk about what makes students college and career, back to that, there you go, college and career and life ready, are these three major concepts here. So at the foundational level, in terms of like state policy and the things that Illinois wants our students to learn, is general employability skills, like entrepreneurial skills that will position you for thinking about that career that you want in the future. So early on, I heard many of you talk about different types of internships or experiences that you've had or that you're looking forward to doing. And so that's all aligned with becoming familiar with, a work-based setting, right? And learning how to solve problems, because those are some of the things that you'll be doing when you move on into your careers later on in life. The next piece, when you scroll to the opposite side, number 2, is in terms of dual credits and or AP courses, is that we want students to be accelerated towards a particular career. And so when you take multiple courses in a particular topic, right, that pushes you towards a particular industry and increases your commitment, right? So it shows that you are extremely interested in this industry and that you want to narrow in on your focus and learn more. And so we think when we think about taking dual credit and career courses, we also want to consider some of those gen ed courses too, right? Because those courses are also going to accelerate you to and through from secondary to post-secondary. And then lastly, number 3, at the top of the pyramid, we want to make sure that you're academically ready for college, right? So that means that you've been successful in these AP and or dual credit courses, and that you're ready for college level math, English, and or other general ed courses as well. And so that's just, I wanted to note that because those are some of the policy frameworks that we work with in the state of Illinois to make sure that students are on par and set for the next step beyond high school. Next slide, please. And so there are 2 types of courses, dual credit courses, that help speed students up the most, right? There are courses that are aligned with our Illinois articulation initiatives, and then also courses that are career focused. So you're probably thinking, what in the heck is an Illinois articulation initiative? And so in the state of Illinois, there are a multitude of courses that high school that you can take in dual credit or you can take at the community college. And so these courses will transfer automatically to a 4-year institution, right? I heard somebody say, oh, well, some AP courses don't transfer. So these courses they're already articulated. There's like a national, not national, but like a statewide initiative that say, if you take this course and is successful in passing this course, that course will automatically be counted on your transcript when you enroll into a public state institution. Anybody have any questions about that? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later too. But career focused courses are courses that are unique to a particular industry or a career that you plan to go into after high school. Next slide. And so here, what you'll see is an example of career courses. So I have 2 different pathways here. The top one is the pathway in health science, and the bottom block is a pathway in education. And so these courses that you see here are very unique to those particular sectors, right? You see medical terminology, you see intro to anatomy and physiology. Those are unique to health sciences. And then when you look at career focused courses, intro to education, right? Educational methodology. Those are very unique to the field of education. So that's the difference between like career courses. And then the next slide, we're going to talk a little bit about general education courses. So can you click one more click, Edith? There we go. So general education courses, these courses are generally a part of the Illinois articulation agreements. So if you take these courses and they are dual credit courses in high school, or you take these at the community college level, more than likely, these are going to transfer over into a 4-year institution. And so they call them general education courses because these are like the foundational courses that all students have to generally take upon entry into a particular program or industry sector. So you got your science, you got your social science, your math, and then your English sequence. And so we see here, again, everyone believes that there is a huge advantage, right? Because of some of the things that you all talked about, right? The deepening of the curriculum, access to the college credit itself, and exposure to or like a taste of college. Can you go to the next slide, Edith? And so when you look here, this kind of gives us a snapshot on how those students who have enrolled in dual credit, how they are highly likely to move forward and earn a degree. And so you'll see that there is an increase between 2016 to 2021. And so that's an advantage of dual credit, right? When you take those courses early, you are more likely to be prepared for post-secondary education, and also more likely to obtain your degree because it advances you, it shortens your time to completion, which in the long run decreases the cost. Next slide, Edith. So a couple of things that I want to leave you with, especially for those of us who are freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, is to avoid random acts of dual credit, right? So think about the courses that you're taking, be strategic about it, do your research, make sure that those courses are aligned with the vision that you have for yourself in your career, and that they are going to transfer into the institution that you're interested in going to. I say take time and reflect on those ideas, concepts, and also course sequences. And if you're struggling with that, make sure you go and have a conversation with your teacher, your school or college counselor, and or your parents, because I'm sure that all of those people are definitely interested in supporting and helping you. And so the next slide, so we won't necessarily do a waterfall or this type of reflection because for the sake of time, but I would love for somebody just to maybe two people just to share a quick takeaway that they've learned from this presentation here.
It would be great to hear from someone who hasn't spoken already. Alex or Isabel, any thoughts? Iris, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself and provide any insights, one or two takeaways.
Yeah, I can talk really fast. So I found it really interesting, all the statistics about like the minority races. And I think that if we try to incorporate like Hispanic students and African-American students into these classes, it would definitely benefit our society and to make it more diverse. And especially in our generation, I think it would just be amazing to see those numbers like decrease or increase and to see more diversity in these classes.
One more person. Thank you.
I can go. So what really stood out to me was at the end when you said not to do like random acts of dual credit, because I am taking like a few dual credit classes next year and I'm taking AP Calculus. And I kind of just took them because my counselor told me to. Like I didn't really do the research. And a part of me, like, I'm like, am I even going to need these? So it's kind of got me like thinking.
Yes, go back to that school counselor, right? And say, hey, let's talk through what my goals are, what I want to do, and then see what feedback that they have for you in terms of building a schedule that is more aligned. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your engagement. So I'm going to pause and turn it back over to Edith.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for your engagement in that. We hope it was helpful, and feel free to reach out if any questions come up after today. And now I'm going to kick it over to Caroline to share with us some information about transferring college credit.
So right here, I'm gonna click on this first link, which would open this page right here. And then this is the Illinois transfer portal. I could put the link in the chat if you guys would like. Here, let me get rid of this. If you guys would like. But going back onto what Megan was talking about a few minutes ago, the Illinois Articulation Initiative. Megan, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the institutions that are right here, the 2-year institutions, and there's a smaller selection of 4-year institutions, that when you take your general education courses at these institutions, they are transferable to almost any other institution, if not all of them. By general education, I mean like your English, math, and let's say any like writing courses. Megan?
Yep, that is absolutely correct. So the 2-year public institution, that is a list of all of the community colleges in the state of Illinois. And so all of these courses have articulation agreements with the 4-year state public institutions that you see on the opposite side of that. And so when you take general education courses, right, because remember, there are 2 types of dual credit. There are career focused, then there are general education courses. And so the vast majority of your general education courses are going to articulate from your community college into a 4-year institution. And when you take your career focused dual credit courses, some of those may or may not transfer, right? I think there's another, through this website, you can find that as an information as well. So I'm gonna let Caroline talk a little bit more, then I'm gonna drop another link in the chat too that you all can register for.
I'm just clicking like on Wilbur Wright College, which is currently the college that I attend. And so it just takes you to this page right here where it has like its basic information on the school. And then if Edith or Megan can drop the general education communication course descriptions in the chat. So this page right here on the same website has a list of majors that you can take at those community colleges. And let's just click on agriculture. And then when I click on that, it's gonna take me to this page where it explains what it is. And it also has its specialties. So then let's say I wanna do animal sciences. I would click on that. And then it explains to me what animal sciences is. And then the recommended courses that I should take if I want these to transfer and have a focus in agricultural animal sciences. And then right here we have AG 902, Introduction to Animal Science. In addition, students should select additional agriculture core courses with, and then it has just all the courses that you would take for that. And then this is also another page on the same website, if Edith or Megan can drop the link in the chat, where it has like course descriptions. I'm sorry?
They're all in the chat.
Oh, okay, they're all in the chat. So I would click on that course and then it tells me all the information that I need to know on it. So here it tells me that it's 6 semester credit hours, but I do have to read right here that there's a course that you have to take before the second course of it. So it's 2 semesters and it tells you which one you're supposed to take first. And whenever you're looking at this, it's very important to like notice those little details because there can always be a slip up. And let's say you, for some weird reason, your counselor or advisor allows you to take the course that you were supposed to take second, they will not count it. And like, you're going to have to take the first course again first and then take the second course all over again, if you guys get what I'm saying. So yeah, and then all these, the links to all of these are in the chat, and you guys can either right now or later on after this meeting, go ahead and explore with like choosing the community college that is closer to you, or if you were actually considering going to that community college, whichever one it may be, like further away from the one in your neighborhood specifically, you can go ahead and go on their website and type in like what you want to study and what you want to see, like all the courses that would pop up and stuff like that. And then we have another cool resource, which is called Transferology. And so Transferology works, how it works is there's a little, first you sign up, and then there is a little like thing that you need to fill out. It's like a form, and you put in the classes that you've taken in like community college or any other college, and it will tell you if where they're eligible to transfer to. So I filled out mine, and I put like the classes that I took this semester, which was English, math, and speech. And so you put those classes, and then right here, it's telling me that it's 100% match to these schools right here. So that means they would transfer, and I would fully get credit for them at these colleges or universities. And there's quite a lot that they would transfer to.
So I want to explain the differences, right? So the first website that Caroline showed you is like the Inside Scoop, right? So that website is normally used by like your advisors or your college counselors. That is where they go when they are looking at like what appropriately articulates. And so, so you have that. Transferology is more like student facing. And so it's easier to navigate for students. So what we want you to do is utilize both of them, right? So now you know what different, what the administrators are using, and then what you could also use as a tool.
Yeah, so like I had said earlier, we have 6 SAC members rolling off the SAC. And so we asked them to share some words of advice with the rest of you. And so we will go with Jay first, and then Isabella, and then Karel, and then Ashley. Jay, you go first.
All right, so I'm most looking forward towards making new friends and having a lot of new experiences in college. And I guess some general advice for the SAC members, I'd say it's really important to balance your work and social life. I'd say start on college applications as soon as you can, and to have fun in whatever you do.
Thank you. Great advice. Isabella.
Yeah, so I am majoring in public health, and I'm going to UW Milwaukee, and I am so excited to take all of my public health courses. Like, it's something that I've wanted to do for literally 4 years of my life, and now I finally get to go out and do it. So I'm so excited to do that. Also to like see downtown Milwaukee, I feel like it'll be so cool. And then my advice for the SAC members is have fun. Like, it's your last year. Do something that you would never do. I think that that's really important. Even if it's not for like college, like for it to be on college resume, just like have fun and do what you want. And I also agree with Jay. Start your college applications early so that you really know what you want. Also, fill out that FAFSA as soon as you get it because some of that money is first come, first serve. So yeah, that's all I have though.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isabella. I know FAFSA can be very daunting, but definitely starting it early is the best way to go. And then Karel.
Yeah, I would say as for college, I'm really excited just for like having to have that autonomy. I was pretty scared to go away from home, but I'm very like excited to be off on my own. Some advice I would give to like non-seniors is first semester is gonna be rough. Just basically like enjoy it while you're doing it. Like, I know that's cliche or whatever, but I personally, like, even the classes I didn't like I just did my best in it, and I made a lot more time for my friends this year. Whereas like freshman through junior year, I was really worried about my grades a lot. And of course, grades are still important, but like really taking the time to be with your friends, because this is the last year you're going to be in that school setting with them, and it's very important.
Great. Thank you all so much. It's been great having you on the SAC. You've been really great members of the team. We've learned a lot from you, and we wish you all the best. And please stay in touch.